What's up guys, today we're in my driveway working on the S15. If you're new to the channel, I'll give you a quick catch up on it here. It's got a 5.3 LS motor. This was actually the first LS engine that me and Rob swapped. It's a fairly plain truck and I like it that way because I like to just park this thing anywhere and, you know, not worry about it. In total I've got about $3,000 into it. It's just a really fun LS powered truck that does burnouts and you don't really got to worry about it too much. It's definitely been mentioned on the channel before, but if you don't know, this truck has had a lot of problems with its fuel pumps. What we're going to be doing today is changing the fuel pump for another time. This will be the 5th fuel pump in this truck since we LS swapped it. And I've upgraded a lot of electrical things along the way to try, you know, solve some things, stuff people pointed out and whatnot. But basically the way it's hooked up is just with a relay. The computer tells the relay to turn on when the fuel pump should prime and be on, whatnot. And it gets direct power from the battery. It has a decent gauge wire. Could be a little larger, I guess. But really, we just got to get in the tank and see what happened. The pump that was in it right now is actually a used pump that Rob gave me. So the pump could have just went bad. Previous times, it was always the wiring that melted one way or another, or the pump went bad once or twice as well. I'm just sick and tired of dropping this fuel tank. I want to put a fuel cell in the back and a tonneau cover kind of, but right now I just need to be driving this thing. Apologies in advance for the air conditioner noise, it's hot here. So this thing actually broke down like 2 weeks ago and I was kind of just pissed off about it and didn't want to work on it. And it just sat on the street, but today I got it pushed up on the driveway with a little bit of help and we're gonna install a new fuel pump because I figure I might as well just do that. If I don't find any problems, I don't know. Could have just been a bad pump, I guess. This is the fuel pump I'll be replacing it with. It's actually a Walbro 450 and it's a little bit overkill for a stock 5.3, but I have it here because it's for the Sonic Stang actually. It's full kit, comes with some butt connectors I'm not going to use, and connector, new filter. That's actually the first thing we're going to look at. We're going to look at the filter on this thing. This truck gets driven a lot more than it gets worked on, so you can see the fuel pump is just kind of hanging out right there on top of the frame rail, not really held on by anything. So first we're gonna check that thing, see what it looks like in there. Got this jerry can here, but I really don't anticipate catching much of the gas in it. Look at that. Besides the intake fuel pump filter, this is the only filter I run, this little Russell doohickey here. It really might leak fuel and it might not be enough of a filter just because of how small it is. It really might be suited towards more of like a race application with race fuels. I don't know, looks pretty clean in there to me, and that's on the dirty side. That's coming from the tank. Yeah, I don't know, looks near immaculate to me. Here under the truck you can see I've got the fuel gauge wire disconnected, the power wire, there is no disconnect, so I just cut it off to connect it again. And basically the gas tank is held on with these 4 bolts here. Well, this is one way to get it off anyway. These 4 bolts here, and then back up there, there's one more bolt that holds this strap in place. I've done this, you know, 4 other times, and I'm pretty sure that this fuel neck can just slide out with everything intact, so I don't have to mess with any of that. So I'm gonna get undoing these bolts and we'll drop this thing. All right, so I got all the bolts undone. It's time to wrestle this thing out of here. Luckily I only put 20 bucks of gas in here when I thought the truck was just out of gas. And it wasn't the fuel pump again. This is always an adventure. By yourself. Something about gas tanks, I don't know. This ups the sketchy level a little bit. Especially when they're full of gas. Heyo. One good thing is the drive shaft is there, so it can't like just fall out kind of thing. So until you get it down, it's kind of got nowhere to go, which helps. Having the jack on this strap back here does not help. Bend that strap out of the way, and let's continue. Of course, you want to make sure the wires and stuff are out of the way as it's coming down. Alright, this is the motion we want here. The angle. And you can see by doing it this way, the drive shaft, well, this drive shaft anyway, really helps kind of keep it contained while you let it down. Oh. It's coming. Now at this point, if I had taken off the filler neck, it would be smooth sailing. So you might want to do that. It's getting a little too dark for filming out here, but I'm really curious what happened in there. So I'm going to look, and you guys are going to find out tomorrow when we continue this video. Dun dun dun! What's up guys, it is the next day. Welcome back to Air Conditioning City, where the truck is still on jack stands and the host isn't that pretty. I took the whole sending unit out here. By the way, the sending unit is for a Blazer, I believe. I think it was. Comes with these ends, which you can easily put these adapter fittings on. I think last time or 2 fuel pump changes ago, I ordered this and I've been using this since. New sending unit and stuff. This is a pump that Rob actually gave me. It was out of a 4.3 truck. Made good fuel pressure, everything seemed to work with it until now. So I was looking at this and I thought, I don't know. That wasn't like that. I've played with that a bit, but I thought everything looked normal. And noticed that there, but that shouldn't really hurt anything. So then I was looking at these zip ties and I thought, oh, they look kind of loose. And then I went to pull on them and noticed that they're melted. And on the other side here, where they melted, you can see it melted. And that's actually the ground for the fuel pump. You can follow the wire up, it goes in there. That's probably your problem. Unless the fuel pump failing caused that, we're gonna figure that out right now, because I'm going to test the fuel pump on the battery of the Sierra over there. And if it works, it must have been a bad ground or wiring issue or something like that. If it doesn't work, then maybe it's just the pump, and I'll rewire it, put in another pump, and we'll do this again in another couple months. So I tested it on the battery here and it worked. So at this point, I'm guessing the ground just was not good enough for the frame. You can see here, it's pretty rusty. I mean, the frame I really cleaned up last time, so it was better. I'm gonna redo these wires because they're kind of janky now and shitty since I've been pulling on them. This connector is probably shouldn't be used anymore. That's a prior melting incident, the power wire, and then this time it was the ground wire that melted. The other 2 wires are for the sending unit, a signal and a ground, and they seem to be okay, although my fuel gauge stopped working, so it could have been as a result of this. Yeah, you can see it melted right in. Oh, is that one broken too? No, it's still in there, but that could be damaged, so I'm just gonna cut this off and just put connector ends on it, and then just hopefully these connectors here are still good. I'm assuming they will be, and I'll just check continuity to the wires out here and basically just put it back together. I'm gonna solder this instead of, I think I am. I might still butt connect. I don't know, I'm lazy. But anyways, I'm gonna get to work putting this back together. Oh, and I almost forgot, the Sonic Stang is also now spared its 450 Walbro fuel pump. Since I can reuse this one again, I just gotta be careful. I already kind of bent the negative terminal here, but hopefully it's usable again.
I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying.
I'm trying to pull these connections off, and I'm not sure if it's factory or someone did it, but I don't know if you can see, but there's a little solder in there. They're actually soldered on, so they're really tricky to get off, and this pump might not make it. All right, scratch that. I tried to use a soldering iron to loosen up the solder, and I got it to melt a bit, but even then it still wasn't coming off, and these are kind of getting all bent up and fucked, and this is just a stock 4.3 pump anyways, so it's getting the Walbro. Don't worry, buddy, you'll run one day. Nah. Just looking at this pump and the box too, TI Automotive. It actually says TI Automotive on the pump. made in USA. I was under the impression these were Walbros, genuine, but I guess not. But it's a fuel pump. Alright, so it's way later now. Almost midnight. Stopped to eat and do some other stuff, but got this done. That's how she's gonna be with the new fuel pump. I ended up running all new wires. You can see here, I took out that plastic factory piece because it was just kind of, you know, melted. And I didn't think it was reliable anymore. So got all new wires, all soldered and heat shrinked, and they all come through there. And I got a long length to connect them where they need to go after the tank. But basically this thing is ready to drop in. So I'm gonna do that and then probably put the tank in tonight. It's a little dark to be filming, so I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow for the moment of truth when we try to start this thing. And it should start. I mean, this solved the problem, I assume. So anyways, tomorrow. All right, and here we go again. So to catch you guys up on what happened last night, I was out here till like 4 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning actually. Pretty crazy. It was starting to get light, but sometimes you just get doing a job like this and you just want to finish it. I didn't want to have day 3 of trying to do the fuel pump again, so I basically got it done, and now it sits like this. I took it off the jack stands on my lunch break, tried to start it, and all I got was the starter clickety click. Tested how much volts were in the battery, and my multimeter, which isn't known to be super accurate all the time, said it was low. So I've been charging it for a couple hours, and if it doesn't start now, I'm just gonna go crazy.
I was going bananas.
All right. Are you fucking kidding me?
Ain't worth it. Not this shit. It ain't fucking worth it.
So at this point, I'm gonna set this truck on fire.
My mind is just ready to go completely.
Really though, it probably just needs a starter. I mean, this starter was from the junkyard, so fuck me. I just wanted to drive this thing today. I could try hit it with a hammer. You fucking piece of shit. So it's fucked. The starter appears to be no good. I tried turning the engine over with this, just by the crank pulley there, in case it was a bad spot on the flex plate or some shit like that, but that didn't do anything, of course. And I also tried that bar right there. You can actually reach in and bang on the starter pretty good like that, but I'm just by myself. I know it usually works better if you bang and try to crank at the same time. So that's where we're gonna leave this one, because I don't want to drag it out any longer. So hot rodding is fun unless you have to do work, and the work sucks when you don't get any reward from the work, especially when you stay up till 4:30 a.m. I'm pretty pissed, but it's a Wednesday. We got a live stream tonight. I'm going to hang out with my friends, so I guess life isn't the worst, but I better go put that bar away before I fucking smash every window on this piece. I realize you might be thinking it's just the starter. Why is he so angry? I'll basically have to pull the engine to change it. It's very tight in these trucks with an LS. The headers will definitely have to come off. Maybe just the headers, but even then I don't think I'll be able to get, like, it's gonna be a shit show. So with that said, like the video if you enjoyed. I know it wasn't too much action in this one, just more kind of real life hot rod automotive adventure, like we always say. Share with your friends, subscribe if you're new, and we'll check you later.
Let us get the fuck out of here.